Item Number SCP-1282 Object Class Unable to reliably classify due to highly unpredictable behavior patterns. However, as of this writing, it is currently classified as safe. Special Containment Procedures. Depending on current classification, containment will vary from complete immobilization by entombment in non-Newtonian liquid, see Report 1282-001A, to standard high-security living quarters normally reserved for VIPs. Under no circumstances should any male researchers, D-Class personnel, or agents converse with SCP-1282. See Report 1282-001B. Description: SCP-1282 appears to be a human female between the ages of 18 and 21 of Asiatic descent. It insists that it is Japanese. It has waist-length, straight jet black hair, which it prefers to wear in a ponytail. It is approximately 180 centimeters in height, significantly taller than the average female Japanese teenager. SCP-1282's physical condition and appearance are what many doctors and agents claim to be absolutely perfect in every way. SCP-1282 is both the Foundation's most valuable asset to date, and at the same time its most hazardous. During an incident with SCP-096, in which an agent inadvertently viewed its face, SCP-1282 broke containment and intercepted SCP-096 before it could reach agent, data expunged. Upon noticing SCP-1282, 096 ceased pursuit of the agent. It began issuing a burbling noise similar to that of a cooing baby. SCP-1282 then embraced 096 briefly, before inquiring nearby staff as to where 096's chamber was so she could, quote, walk him home. 1282 has demonstrated familiarity with SCP-682. She insisted on being let into its chamber. This request was granted after much debate. After the acid was flushed from 682's chamber and it had fully regenerated, 1282 was allowed into the container. Upon seeing 1282, 682 issued a soft purring noise and spoke one word: Mother. 1282 remained in 682's chamber for 48 hours, conversing in a strange guttural language, which is yet to be identified, but which SCP-1282 describes as demon speak. This language, if listened to by any sentient being for more than 20 minutes, causes the listener to experience severe psychological stress, paranoia, migraines, homicidal tendencies, and eventual insanity. Since their first meeting, both SCP-682 and SCP-1282 have requested further sessions together. When 682 was first denied this request, it asked again, saying "please" in a polite tone of voice. This behavior has caused enough stir to seriously consider further testing of 1282 and 682 interaction. Since its introduction to SCP-1282, 682 has had no escape attempt on record. When asked about its change in behavior, 682 stated that it did not want to disappoint Mother. Since then, 682 has been more compliant in interviews, but no valuable information has been divulged, as it constantly interrupts the interviewer to inquire about 1282's whereabouts. The following is a transcript from interview 682-122-1. Interviewer: 682, what? SCP-682, where is Mother? I want to speak with her. If you mean 1282, she is currently asleep in its chamber. It is currently asleep in its chamber. Can we get back to... 682 growls menacingly. Mother is not an it, meat. Never call her that again. Why should I not refer to 1282 as an it? What will you do to me if I do? You must be new here to not know the answer to that. Oh, I know what you've done in the past, but I don't think you will do anything to me now that 1282 is here. Since it arrived, you have not taken a single human life, and I postulate that as long as it resides in the same facility, you will do nothing to harm me. SCP-682 then looks at something behind the interviewer and makes a sound akin to a chuckle. 682 says, You're right, I won't. But she will. The interviewer then turns around to see what SCP-682 is looking at. SCP-1282 says, "Don't call me an it." 1282 snaps the interviewer's neck, pats SCP-682 on the snout, then turns and phases through the door. 2 seconds later, camera feed in 1282's chamber records her stepping through the eastern wall. She then lies down on her bed and goes back to sleep. 1282 has demonstrated multiple strange abilities that include the following. Phasing through solid matter, similar to SCP-106. When told of this similarity, she was quoted as saying, "Oh, him? Yeah, he never got it just right. I stopped burning shit after the 3rd try." Traveling at speeds undetectable to even the most sensitive high-speed cameras. This is her preferred method of travel. Submersion in a non-Newtonian liquid prevents her from utilizing this speed, making it the only known method of containment should her normally docile behavior change. See Incident Report 1282-001C. SCP-1282 often refers to SCP-1173 as Mr. Copycat. See Incident Report 1282-001D. 1282 displays rapid cellular regeneration. This ability is almost identical in function and potency to SCP-682's. Because of this, determining the subject's exact age is impossible, although she claims to be 18 years of age. Secretions of extremely potent pheromones that affect beings of the opposite sex. Affected beings will follow any order given to them by SCP-1282, including committing suicide. See Incident Report 1282-001E. It is uncertain whether or not these pheromones are what causes SCP-682 to be docile while in her presence. 1282 displays tremendous physical strength. She has been observed tearing through 10-inch thick reinforced steel doors in a matter of minutes during a fit of rage. She was eventually sedated with approximately 5 liters of a potent sedative delivered through approximately 75 tranquilizer darts. Before she collapsed, she managed to mutilate 5 D-Class personnel, disembowel an additional 4, and disintegrate 12 by screaming in an ultrasonic frequency that is currently being researched for weaponization. Although not considered overly strange, SCP-1282 has a recorded IQ of over 250, acing every intelligence test she is subjected to, and displays a disturbing knowledge of human behavior and psychology. If allowed to interact with a subject for 15 minutes of personal inquiry, she is able to identify a subject's worst personality traits and fears, and use them to compile a short sentence that, when spoken, causes the subject to either go insane or commit suicide. If the subject is restrained and prevented from causing him or her self-harm, the subject's brain will hemorrhage, causing death. SCP-1282 has requested to be referred to either as Mistress or Motoko, the latter being a name of Japanese descent. The former has been denied. Addendum. It has been recently called to attention that SCP-1282 bears an uncanny resemblance to a Japanese manga character created by artist Ken Akamatsu in 1999. The character in question is named Aoyama Motoko in the literal Japanese translation, and Motoko Aoyama in the English revision of the graphic novel she appears in. The character has long black hair that is occasionally worn in a ponytail, much like 1282's personal preference. She is described as 180 centimeters in height, with volatile personality when men are involved. She is described to be a Shinmei Ryu swordswoman, essentially an exorcist that purges demons with magical sword techniques. The last 2 traits are not present in SCP-1282. When shown this character and the similarities pointed out, she did not show any signs of surprise or confusion, simply stating, "I like the way she looked, the rest is history." This statement has caused researchers to postulate that SCP-1282 has the ability to change her physical form at will to look like anyone she wishes, including fictional cartoon characters. Any line of inquiry into this ability has been met with extreme verbal hostility and threats of violence. So far, SCP-1282 has not acted on these threats, but staff are forbidden to inquire about her appearance from now on. Applications of SCP-1282. 1282 has the ability to calm violent SCPs and is able to halt what would otherwise be thought to be unstoppable rampages. There are several examples of this ability in action. SCP-1282 successfully pacified 096 before it could kill an agent that saw its face. Note: SCP-1282 is apparently the only entity in existence that is able to view 096's face without triggering its typical violent response. Any further incidents of SCP-096 containment breach is to be hereafter handled by 1282. She is to be given all requested resources and temporary clearance needed to track and pacify 096. Such privileges will be redacted upon retrieval and recontainment of 096. 1282 is able to verbally command 173 to return to its chamber after its breach of containment. Testing by D-Class personnel to replicate this compliance exhibited by SCP-173 have all ended in failure. When asked why SCP-173 understands and obeys her, she replies, "It doesn't understand. It just knows better." During a containment breach in which SCP-106 escaped from its chamber, SCP-1282 intercepted it and began scolding it, ordering it to return the personnel it had placed in its pocket dimension and go back to its cell. SCP-106 was observed to hang its head in what appeared to be embarrassment, and promptly returned the 2 D-Class personnel it abducted and returned to its containment chamber immediately. Its captives were unharmed. Due to SCP-1282's willingness to assist in containment, all requests made by her are taken into serious consideration and no request is ever immediately denied, for fear that depriving her of anything she requests may cause her to refuse in assisting containment procedures. To date, she has not made any unreasonable requests, many of them being requests for literature such as graphic novels, short stories, fiction, non-fiction, pornographic books and magazines, and tabloids. Music, DVDs, her preferred genres being science fiction, horror, fantasy, and standard non-fetishist pornography, and video games, her preferred genres being violent, satanic, horror-themed first-person shooters, claiming it reminds me of the good old days. Sometimes she will request that someone play the game with her, either competitively or cooperatively. Note: this is a good opportunity to communicate and interview her in an informal setting and has proved more effective than formal interviews in learning about her past and abilities. Other requests include, but are not limited to, visitation time with SCP-682, which is occasionally approved depending on her current object class. When she is classified Euclid or above, request is denied. When classified safe, request is granted. The visit with SCP-682 is recorded on audio and video feed. Transcripts are available on request. Some transcripts are restricted to Class 4 personnel and above. Access to common areas of the facility, such as cafeteria, lounge, and low-level laboratories. Granting of this request is conditional. All male staff must be absent from common areas that she accesses. Deactivation of audio and video feed in her chamber for up to 1 hour for, quote, private time. If granted, under no circumstances should video or audio be reactivated before 60 minutes has passed. SCP-1282 will become aware that she is being observed and will react violently towards anyone viewing her during this period. See Casualty Report 1282-201A. Access to SCP-079. Granting this request has been deemed beneficial to ongoing research on SCP-079.